There is a renewed effort to save the salmon population as they travel through the American River.
One group is working to improve habitats for the fish, which are affected by environmental changes, including the heat that we're having this week. Fox 40's Monica Deanda joining us live along the river to explain how they're creating a safe place for future fish. Monica.
Eric, Nikki, if you take a look here behind me, this is the site of one of the Water Forum's two projects that focuses on restoring fish spawning gravel beds and improving the habitat where these fish go once they're born along the lower American River. This is especially crucial for the endangered Chinook salmon that use this area to spawn.
This is where they've adapted to come and begin and end their life cycle, and it's just how nature intended it.
For the native fish, these rushing river waters are crucial to their life cycle.
Spawning and rearing habitat for our native fall run Chinook salmon and our steelhead trout.
But protecting their habitat has changed over the years. To create the ideal habitat for the specific species of salmon and trout, you need rocks like these. Thousands of them are loaded up onto a tractor and taken over to Lower Sailor Bar. These rocks are creating that perfect place for these salmon and trout to spawn.
Our salmon cannot spawn in rock that's too large. They are not able to move it with their tails. And the female uses their tail to move the rock around and clean it of fine sediment and moss and make sure that it is ready for the eggs.
It's all part of the Water Forum's yearly effort to help native species prosper despite human needs for water supply and flood control. These dozers moving any piled up sediment along the parkway, ensuring these fish have the perfect location to nest in a couple of months. But challenges remain.
Many factors like climate change and ocean conditions. Last year you saw fairly lower water levels and we didn't see as much spawning activity because it was quite warm.
Despite last year's drought, Erica Bishop tells us they saw more hatching at enhanced sites like this one. You can see some of these rocks have already been laid out here in this habitat area, but by the time the project is complete, you won't be able to see any of the rocks, and that's because they'll all be underwater. Efforts to prepare for a successful spawning season, not slowing down.
Eventually, this will get graded and pushed all the way across the river so that it is the right depth and the right extent for the fish to use for spawning. We are doing what we can to actually improve the habitat for the fish here in the river so that they're able to come back and perpetuate their species for decades to come.
Eric, Nikki, these two projects are expected to be completed by the end of September, and that's perfect timing because spawning season, according to Bishop, begins in late October and runs through December. Reporting live along the American River, Monica Deanda, Fox 40 News.